How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you a game that I found called Dark Ascent. Dark Ascent is honestly a really good beta game that I have found. I mean, it's still in beta, they're still working on it, they're still updating it to this day. In fact, a recent update came out yesterday that kind of made everything look better, run better, more smoothly. Anyway, you're going to start out with just like a plain sword, and it looks like it's pretty simple. You can swing, parry, and then punish. And then enemies will drop weapons on the ground, which you can then pick up. And each weapon, depending on the rarity of the weapon, will have a different stat that applies to that weapon. Some of them will have just physical damage, while others will have elemental damage and physical damage, and then other attributes that help you out through the game. So you will start off by just having a sword, a fireball, and that's about it. Once you play the game, you will then unlock a bunch of stuff, and as you level up throughout the game, you will then be able to fight with daggers, axes, and spears. Now, all these weapons have a different ability. I haven't even unlocked all of them, and I believe I'm level 51, but they're also still updating the game, so I don't know if they're even in there. But these abilities will help out the weapon and make them better. For instance, the sword and the dagger will teleport you to the enemy and instantly kill them if they're low health. And the sword is just a barrage of swings that make you immune. So let's just deep dive into this game, because I have honestly, it's a roguelike, alright? It's just a roguelike. You're going to see some stuff that is it reminds me a lot of Risk of Rain in a way, except it's more chance based than anything. I mean, I know Risk of Rain, a lot of it is chance, but there's a bunch of stuff to give you better chances. This, if you don't have good luck, oh my god, I pray for you. Anyway, so the enemies that you will see are just like your low grunts that have less health, don't do a lot of damage. Your mages that will shoot fireballs, and you can parry them to shoot the fireballs back. Like kind of juggernauts or whatever you want to call them. More tanky people, but also not that tanky. But then you have like these very, very powerful people, very powerful enemies that will really get you in trouble if you're not careful. So as you see there, an abyssal enemy showed up. So abyssal enemies will drop these crystals, which you can then spend it on these. They'll pop up and you can read them. You can see what you want to get. Those aren't really more chance. I mean, it's always going to be 4. It's chance based on that. But you can read it and be like, yeah, I'll get that. Yeah, I'll get that. But a further thing that you will see soon is that if you get a shard from a chest, you're only guaranteed 1 item to choose from. And depending on the item, it might be good, it might be bad, you never know. So what just happened here was every enemy has a chance of dropping a portal. This portal will bring you into a wave round. Every single wave will allow you to progress your weapon level up, more coins, and then shards. These shards show up at the end of every single round, or every single room that you finish. And they will help you, they'll like raise your attack stat, raise your defense stat, or not defense, dodge stat, and everything else. But with this, it will always give you an epic rift, which epic is the best rarity for right now, unless they change it. But then gold. Gold seems useless whenever you start this game. It really does. I didn't find a chest until like my 3rd time playing this. But speaking of chest is like a gambler's totem from Risk of Rain. You are given a set amount to gold spend, and once you spend it, you will see in brackets the levels that you can get, ranging from like 10 to 16 or lower, and it'll show you the rarity of that weapon, and then it'll drop a shard, like I said, and the shard will grant you 1 abyssal ability. And these abilities can be really good too. There's one that you'll see in this recording where if I damage an enemy and like put him with permafrost, then it's spread out to everything else. But so with this abyssal, you have 5 tiers, and then after that you have to take your reward and get out. But these abyssal rifts will pop up every single stage. Every single stage you're gonna get one, and you can take it or you don't have to. It's really up to you. But you also have to be careful because it's just waves of enemies. There's no cover. There's no nothing. So once you defeat it, you go back to playing it, and then there's not a boss fight in every level, because there's going to be 3 levels, and then there's going to be a shop, and then there's going to be a boss fight. These levels, I've played through them a lot. They're like these first 3 levels, easy. The boss, if you know what you're doing and you know his attack patterns, and then if you have like kind of cheesy stuff, he's a cakewalk. You'll see later on what I mean by cheesy stuff. So what you're about to see now is what I mean by the chest. If once this is I finish this rift, you'll see. But these chests are not guaranteed the best items. I actually think it's more of a scam, considering what you will see later with the boss. These chests are honestly not the best ever, mainly because of the fact that in the shop you can upgrade. If you like your weapon, you can upgrade it, reroll its stats, so you don't have to worry about these chests and like what it's like choosing a different weapon. But sometimes it is better. For instance, the sword, sword is just kind of like an all-around thing. Daggers are speed, like really, like you really want to go fast with these daggers. They're built on speed. They're built on agility, and that's about it. So like I said, you can only choose one after it's done rolling. But what I just picked up is a spear. Spears are long ranged, really good damage, honestly. But like the range on this is crazy. And with this spear, I was lucky enough to get the coldness effect, which if you hit it a bunch of times or hit an enemy a bunch of times, they'll freeze into place, which is awesome. But then you have the axe. The axe is a really heavy damage weapon. It will shred. And in this game, whenever you parry, your next attack is going to become stronger. So if you have a longer ranged weapon, like the spear, and you angle your hit just about right, you can hit multiple people at a time. It's really good. So I'm going to cut to the shop to show you what I mean by upgrading your weapon and rerolling its stats. I did also forget, after the end of every single level, you'll be able to upgrade your spell. So these spells, I showed it in the beginning, they all have different passives, and they all do different things. Like, for instance, ice, you're obviously going to freeze. Fire, lightning, lightning. It's pretty self-explanatory. But anyway, we are in the shop realm, or whatever you want to call it. I actually don't know what it's actually called, but it's a shop. So once it speaks to this guy, you can then upgrade your health, heal your health, do more of the abyssal shards, and like get more shards. Or you can just upgrade the crap out of your weapon and then re-roll the stats. I did upgrade my weapon because it does more physical damage if you do upgrade it. Then re-rolling the stats to get more physical and more damage with this boss is way better, because you'll see the boss's health bar right now. You really just want to cheese this guy. He has a lot of health, but he also does weird things. He has an attack that will drain your stamina, but that's not really a problem. It's fire based, so you can just run around stuff. But here's what I mean by cheese. With the weapon I have, I can freeze him in place, and he will get stuck in animations, because this boss is, I believe the bosses are time based or animation based. They will not stop their attack until their animations are fully done, because this attack phase right here only lasts about a couple seconds, but I was able to make it last a lot longer. And even then, there's a phase where he goes into a bubble and summons enemies, and I was able to keep him in that phase for a lot longer, and I couldn't damage him because he's in a bubble. But anyway, after you defeat him, you'll see what happens. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know why I cut there. It wasn't really necessary. I think I'm gonna be able to show. I'm gonna show you anyway after this boss fight. It's better to drag it on. For views, you gotta get those views up. Anyway, after you defeat a boss, the boss is going to explode into a bunch of different weapons of all types. And they're going to be different rarities too, so you get to choose your rarity. All of these weapons have a different stats effect as well. So if you don't like your weapon and was like, this boss fight was a hard thing to do, then you'll be fine to switch it, and it should be good. And he also drops Crystal Shard, so it's like the Abyssal Realm. Instead of a wave, it's just a boss. And I do believe he also drops quite a lot of gold, or no gold at all. I'm not really sure. I have to rewatch this recording right now. But once you defeat him, you then move on to the next set of levels. Wow, I guess he doesn't even drop any gold. Oh, no, he did. So like I said, a bunch of weapons drop from this guy. And they are really... Some of them are really good. And some of them are not so good. And again, if depending on your playstyle, you're going to like something way better than others. I currently love the sword more. Mainly because of that immunity frames that you get for that ability. But anyway... Once you defeat them, you get to go through these doors and go to the next set of levels. After these levels, it's gonna rinse and repeat, and you're gonna be able to face the bosses again and again. And yeah, that's basically it. This is DarkBlade Ascent, and I think it's a good game, especially since it's early access. You're able to basically see. What am I trying to say? You're able to see what this game can be and what it can potentially be. Because I know that this game is not going to be finished anytime soon, but it's finished to where you can play it and still have fun. I had a run not too long ago where there's an Abyssal Shard, which grants you 2% physical damage up for every gold you have. So for 600, quick math, that's a lot of damage. So anyway, this is DarkBlade Ascent. I believe it's a good game. I really like this game right now. It's one of my favorite roguelikes I've ever played. So I hope this video has maybe convinced you, or you may show this to a friend that really likes this game. That's it. I hope you guys have a really good day. I'll see you guys next time.